Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea here. So today we are here for another declutter, and I figured I decluttered some foundations, so let's do some primers and concealers next, because that area of my little cubicle, it's a bit much. So before we get into the video, as always, I always like to tell you guys thank you so much for clicking on my video and watching. It really does mean a lot to me, and I appreciate every view and just any type of engagement that you do give my channel. It really does mean the world to me. If this is your first time here, definitely stick around, join the family. We've got a lot of good content over here, and I'd love to have you a part of that. And if you are a returning subscriber, as always, I am always so appreciative of your constant support of my channel. It really does mean the world to me, so thank you guys. Okay, so let's get into the video. So here are all my primers, and we'll just get right into it. So first, starting off with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glow Motion, and this is in the shade 904 Deep Glow. So I bought this kind of primerish product to add to my foundations to give me a glow. And although this is nice, I hardly use it. I'm gonna declutter it. I'm gonna see if my sister wants this. Okay, so we have the Revlon Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer. I have used this so much on my channel, definitely keeping this. I love this to fill in my pores, and I like that it also doesn't it doesn't flake or get like kind of crusty underneath my foundation, so keeping that. Here we have the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Dewy Elixir Galactic Glow All Over Instant Radiance Primer. I received this from Hard Candy, and this, I really didn't like it, to be honest, but it was so much glitter in this. This probably would be better for the body, but I didn't like it for my face, so I am going to declutter that one. This is the Hard Candy Blur Primer, selfie approved soft focus blur effect. This actually is pretty good. It really does a good job of blurring the pores. I'm gonna put this in a maybe pile, because I've only used it a couple times, but it really did blur my pores, so let me think about that one. I'll add that over there. Here is a mini size of the Fenty Beauty Original Primer, the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. I do like this. I think this is pretty, it's just pretty hydrating. It's not overly hydrating, but I do like it, so I'm gonna keep that. I bought this. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Booster Drops. I bought this with the intention of mixing it with my more matte foundations, thinking that it'll make them a little bit more hydrating. And honestly, I've decluttered all but one of those foundations. I think I used this once. It's more thick, and I think that kind of was throwing me off. So like, I don't know, it's just really thick. So I'm gonna declutter this. I'm actually almost out of this, which I'm really excited about. This is the Wet n Wild Water Drop Primer, the cucumber scent. And y'all, this really does a good job of blurring the pores and hydrating the skin. Like, I don't have that much left. Definitely keeping it, and I probably will pick up another one when I'm done. Such a good product and very affordable. This is a very tiny size of the Professional by Benefit. I've recently started using this, and I really like it to blur my pores, so I'm keeping this, and I might purchase the full size when I'm done. We'll see, because I actually like that. Alright, so here's the Joa Beauty Selfie Ready Hydrating Primer. This primer is nice. It is hydrating. It's a K-Beauty brand, and you can get it from CVS. I like it, but I don't love it. I'm gonna declutter it though, because I barely use it, and like I said, it's nice, but it's not anything that I would say, oh my gosh, you have to go out and try it. Here is my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I have mine in the shade 6, and if you know me, you already know she's a keeper. I don't even need to like continue to talk about that. What could be a potential dupe to the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter is this Milani Self Focus Glow Complexion Enhancer. I have mine in the shade 02. There's 2 other shades, one that's lighter and one that's deeper than this, and I cannot get enough of this. This I feel is subtle enough to wear all over my face under my foundation, and it gives such a beautiful glow. Love this. Highly think you should check this out. The Touch in Soul No Pore Primer, a favorite of mine. As you can tell, I have used this, and I really like this to smooth out the T-zone and conceal the pores, so definitely keeping that. Here is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. I received this from Influencer, and I really like this. It has vitamin C and banana powder inspired pigments to illuminate the skin. It has vitamin C in it, so it does have some good skincare benefits in it, but I'm definitely keeping this because I want to get more use out of it. Here I have a small baby size of the Dior primer, the new primer that was released, I want to say like early summer, and this is okay. I wouldn't purchase this full size. I probably need to use it more because, to be honest, I've only used it twice, but when I used it I was like, okay, this is like a moisturizer. It wasn't anything that I felt was groundbreaking or you know, to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, when this runs out, I'm gonna buy a full size. I don't know, I'll put it in the maybe pile. Because this is a little tiny sample, I could definitely use it up, but I don't know if I should because I just kind of feel indifferent about it. Here I have a mini size of the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is the Radiance one with hyaluronic acid, and I want to use this more because the few times that I have used it, I have really liked it. I actually kind of forgot what it looks like. Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely want to use this a little bit more. I don't even know if you all can see it. It's got a little bit of a radiance to it. So I will keep this one so I can use it. Here is a mini size of the Milk Makeup, what is this one called? Blur Stick. And I don't know about this one. This one I like it because it does conceal my pores. What I don't like about it is matte, and it might be a little too drying, if you will. So let's put this in the maybe pile because I haven't made up my mind yet. This is actually not a primer. It is a brand called Found that you can find at Walmart, and it's the Radiant Illuminating Drops. I bought this maybe 2 years ago, and I mean, when I bought it, I used it. You can tell that I've used it, but I haven't touched it in a while, and I think I'm just gonna declutter this because no, I just don't use it, and I don't see myself using it anytime soon. Here we have another product that I received from Influencer. This is the Honest Beauty Everything Primer. It's a matte prep plus prime primer. Definitely gonna declutter this because I do not like mattifying primers anymore. And this, honestly, I will say this is not a overly matte primer, but it is supposed to mattify the face and then prep your face for foundation. Plus this one is probably almost 2 years old as well, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Here is another oldie. This is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer, and this I know for a fact is 3 years old, so we're gonna get rid of it. And I still have some left in it, but it's just old. Here is another oldie one. I got this from Influencer as well. This is the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer, and this primer, I tried it multiple times, tried to like it, but this pilled so bad every time I applied it to my face, so we're gonna declutter this. Okay, so we have here the CoverGirl True Blend Base Illuminating Primer. I purchased this primer because I heard that it mimicked the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow Primer, and I think I've used this once. And I'm gonna declutter this because, can y'all see that? I mean, it does leave a little bit of a glow, but I think I like my Milani Soft Glow better. I mean, this is nice, and this is like basically full. I mean, I might have used this twice, including this little swatch that I just showed y'all. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it because I like the Milani one better. And I mean, as much as I am all about the glow, you can only have but so many glowy products. So I'll get rid of that. I'll save somebody I know wants it. This is a little deluxe sample that I got from Sephora. It's the Prime and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Primer. Definitely decluttering that. Tried it a couple times. It didn't wow me, and it's just been sitting there. Here we have the Pure No Filter Blurring Photography Primer. I received this from Influencer as well. Used it a couple times. It was okay, but it didn't stand out, so declutter. This is the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer, and this is a mini size one. And I like this one. This is a nice hydrating primer, so I'm going to keep it because as you can see, I have used it a good amount of times, and I like using this one with foundations that are a little bit more matte. It gives them a little bit more hydration. I don't know if I would repurchase this again. I like it, but I don't know if I would repurchase it. So maybe, I don't know yet, but I do like it, so I am gonna finish it up. And then, last but not least, for primers, we have the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is their original primer. This was my first primer ever, not this bottle, but this primer was my first primer. And this is a good old silicone based primer. I don't use silicone based primers all the time like I used to, so I'm gonna see if I can find someone that I can give this to, because I have a lot left of this. And I think I received this one from Influencer as well, and I just don't reach for it, and I know I'm not going to, so that's that. Okay, so in terms of primers that I'm getting rid of, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 primers that I'm getting rid of. And oh, I forgot about my maybes. Okay, I'm gonna just add these to the declutter pile because, yeah, I'm trying to do better. If I am not in love with it, then that means that I need to get rid of it. So we're gonna get rid of 15 primers because we counted out 12, right? Yeah, so I'm getting rid of 15 primers. And I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 primers. These are illuminators, so I'm not gonna, these are like true illuminators, so I'm gonna not count that. That goes in my illuminator pile. But I'll just put them here since I talked about them. So 10 primers is probably still too many, but I do know from the ones that I'm looking at that I will use them. And I feel like now that I have less, I'll use these more, and hopefully I can use them up and, you know, declutter some because I've used it up, not just because I'm not using the product. Okay, let's go on to concealers now. So let me bring out my concealers. And here we go. All right, so first off, we have the Juvia's Place Concealer. I have mine in the shade J13, and I just don't use this concealer. And I don't even know why. I think I do know why. This color, yeah. I don't like the color of this concealer. It's, I think it's a bit too neutral. And so when I have worn it, I just feel like my under eye looks almost gray. And I'm like, yeah, we're not rocking with that. So, and I hate to get rid of it because when I say I've used it maybe a handful of times, I'm talking like no more than 5 times. No, maybe no more than, yeah, no more than 5 times. Hate to get rid of it, but I seriously don't use it. Here's another one. This is a CoverGirl True Blend Concealer. This is their newest concealer, and I have mine in the shade Warm Honey. But I don't think there is anything warm about this shade. And comparing it to the Juvia's Place, I feel like the Juvia's Place is more warm than this concealer is. This is the CoverGirl one. Once again, when I wear that CoverGirl one, it doesn't look good on my under eye. So I'm definitely tossing that one out. This Juvia's Place one, I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it compared to the CoverGirl, I'm like, is it too warm? I don't know. Maybe I want to play with this a little bit more. Let me put this over here, maybe. Okay, we've got the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and I have mine in the shade Sand. And y'all, I really like this concealer. As you can see, I've used a good amount of it. At one point, I was just using this non-stop, and I think it's got really good coverage. And I like too that I don't have to set this concealer. I can just kind of put it on and be done with it. So I think I'll keep her. The only reason why I'm feeling like I might toss it because I use the same concealers over and over again. All right, here is one that I know I'm keeping. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Concealer. I have mine in the shade 910. This is amazing to me. I love that it's hydrating under my eye. It doesn't make it look, you know, old and crusty. I do have to set this concealer, but I don't have to add a lot of powder to set it and be on my way. I feel like I think I've used about half of it so far, and I purchased this back in April during the spring Sephora VIB sale. Definitely will repurchase this when it runs out, so this is definitely a keeper. Here is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I have mine in the shade Warm Sand, and okay, the shelf life for this is 12 months. I purchased this last August when Sephora had their spring event for the first time. See, I don't know. I have a lot of this left, and I think the only reason why I want to declutter this is because I have had it for a year. I'm not done with it, but I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile because I love that concealer. It is full coverage, but I can wear it a little more sheerly if I want to. I love the color of it, so this is the color of it. I like concealers that are just slightly lighter than my skin complexion because I don't like them to be too stark. And this CoverGirl one just looks almost green now comparing it to the other ones. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in maybe because I feel like, I mean, I've had it for a year, I probably should throw it away. But like my foundations, I feel like I can stretch the shelf life to a year and a half and then I could be done with it. Here is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. I have mine in the shade Light Medium, and this concealer is really nice. I really enjoy wearing this concealer. But I think I'm going to declutter it because this concealer does not like to play with all of my foundations and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of the formula, but I can only wear this with particular foundations, and I haven't figured out the like what the qualms are. Like, I don't know if this can only work with just illuminating foundations or matte foundations, but as much as I do like it, I am going to declutter it because I want a foundation that I can wear with I want a concealer that I can wear with any foundation, not just a foundation that's this type of way or what have you. Plus, it is lighter than what I would like, and that was just based on the shade range that they had, so yeah. Here is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I have mine in the shade 385 Amber. This is a nice one, very full coverage if you're looking for a full coverage concealer. And I don't think I had to set this concealer, which was nice. So in terms of shades, here is the L'Oreal one compared to Too Faced, Juvia's Place, CoverGirl Light Wonder. This one I am gonna get rid of it simply because I don't really wear it a lot, and I don't really like full coverage concealers all the time. I wear them when I want to, obviously have more glam looks, but on a day-to-day basis, I like my concealers to be more medium coverage. So, especially if I keep both of these Juvia's Place ones, I will have full coverage concealers, and I don't need another one, especially if I really don't wear it a lot. I'll do both of these at the same time because they're the same brand. These are my LA Girl Pro Concealer HD concealers. The one that matches my skin is going to be in the shade Fawn, and then the one that I use to highlight with, like my under eye, would be in the shade Pure Beige. I'm going to declutter these. I really enjoy these. They're very good concealers. They were actually the first concealers that I ever they were the first concealers I first started to use, but I found other ones that I like, and I bought the one in the shade Fond because when I was breaking out really bad, I needed to conceal my acne, but thankfully my skin has been doing a lot better, so I am going to declutter these. We have here the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I have mine in the shade Medium Dark 32. I love this concealer. It's definitely one of my top 3 favorite concealers. I just think it gives me the perfect coverage, good medium to full coverage. I love the color of it, and it works really good to not just conceal my under eyes, but also for eyeshadow primer. It's just all around good, and I love the color. The color is like perfect for what I like. Not too light, not too dark, so definitely a keeper. Then we have this Wet n Wild photo focus concealer, and I have this in the shade Medium Tawny, and I liked this concealer for a very good while. Like, it was the only concealer that I would use. The color's not too light. It's a little lighter than what I would prefer. Like, this is like my perfect concealer color, so it's a little lighter, but I do like it. But I've had this one for at least a year, so I am going to declutter it just because I've had it so long. But I might repurchase that one because I really do like it. I like the formula and the coverage as well. I received this from Influencer. This is the Bare Minerals Blemish Rescue Skin Clearing Spot Concealer in the shade Dark Tan 4.5N. And this is just kind of gimmicky to me. You're supposed to put it on your blemishes and conceal it. I felt like it didn't conceal my blemishes well, and I had to apply a lot, and it was just really light, and I felt like this is one of those things that like looks nice putting on, but it doesn't really work. So this is definitely getting decluttered. Then I have just 2 more and we're done. Here is a mini size of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I wear mine in the shade Caramel. Love everything about this concealer. You know, hydrating, but not too hydrating. Love the color. As you can see, these 2 colors are almost, they're very similar. This is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. Love the shade. Love that it's hydrating. Gives me that medium to full coverage if I like it. I've worn this one on and off for 3 years, and I love it. So definitely a keeper. And then lastly, this is another ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Dark 42. So I purchased this last year with the foundation, and if you watched my declutter of the foundation shade was way too dark, so this is too dark for me. This is a match for the foundation, and it's actually around the shade of the Born This Way concealer, but this one's a little bit more red, if you can see. So it is too dark, so I'm going to declutter it. Okay, so back to these 2. So I think I am going to declutter the Born This Way concealer, but I am going to repurchase it because I really do love it. It was by far my favorite for a very long time. But I've had it for a while, and now looking at the shade compared to these 2 shades that I prefer, this is way too dark. Not way too dark, but it's not a highlighting shade. So I'm gonna when I repurchase this one, I'm gonna get another shade that's lighter. And then for the Juvia's Place one, I think I'm gonna keep this and play around with it more because it's been sitting on my hand for a minute now, and I'm like, this looks like it's hydrating. It doesn't look dry. The color actually looks like it's around the same color, maybe potentially, that I like. So I want to give this one another try before I toss it. So of the ones that I'm keeping the Juvia's Place one. Ooh, this one. I'm gonna declutter this Instant Age Rewind because although I like it, that shade is way too light. I mean, I was able to make it work, but it's way too light. I mean, this is the lightest concealer shade that I have. So yeah, we're gonna declutter this one. It's a really good formula though, and if they had a better shade range, I probably would pick it up again. I'm keeping the Juvia's Place, the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away, the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Wow, I'm only keeping 4 concealers. Whoa, was not expecting that. I thought I was going to get rid of more primers than concealers. But then, like I told you guys, I really only reach for the same concealers, and the ones I was reaching for were honestly these 3 right here. And with the Born This Way, I was reaching for that a lot until recently. And now that I'm looking at it, that shade match is not the best. But these 3 have been in rotation, I want to say, for probably the last, actually for all of this year, because I barely have used the Born This Way this year. So yeah, I mean, it's the ones that I love. And maybe after trying the Juvia's Place one, might get a little bit more out of this. So I'm keeping 4 concealers. I am decluttering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 concealers, and I'm really happy with this declutter because I don't use them. Either I don't use them, or I don't like them, or they don't work for me. I feel like now I'll have more conciseness when it comes to my concealers, and then my primers. I'll put that over here. These are the primers that I'm keeping. These are the concealers that I'm getting rid of. But I feel so much happier with this declutter. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and this declutter, because I have definitely enjoyed doing this. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.